Hello, my name is Ramsay. Welcome to the shift presented by Murphy's Magic.com. As painfully awkward as that was to watch, trust me, it was twice as hard to do. Welcome once again to The Shift. I am your host, Chris Ramsay. And this week, before we get into the deal portion, let me sort out last week's winner of our contest. It is Rye Guy the Guy. Rye Guy the Guy. You take home last week's prize, so just go ahead and get in touch with us via Facebook. Send us a message with your info and we'll get that to you ASAP. Rye Guy the Guy asks, how many hours a day do you practice? Every single one. Next question. What advice would you give someone learning magic? That's a very thoughtful question. I think the one thing I would say to someone learning magic is practice. And by practice, I don't mean sit in your room filming your tricks with an iPhone. All right? That's what I do. But seriously, that's part of practice, is practicing, locking yourself up and shunning the world. The other part of practice is getting outside of your house and actually performing for people, actually trying things out, making mistakes, recovering, going up to people, playing around with routines. These things are all part of practice. So practice is very important, but all of that is for nothing if you don't perform. Because that's what magic is. It's not just, unless you're into cardistry, which is cool. I'm into cardistry. You can practice cardistry, and you can perform cardistry too for people. Seen it done. It works. What is your favorite trick that you created? I'm lying. He didn't ask me that. I just made that up so I could plug in my own trick. No, I'm kidding. He did ask me that. But I will plug in my own trick. So my favorite trick, I would say, I don't have a favorite, but I would say my latest trick is the Synchronicity download, where you learn a steal, a control, and a color change. The link's in the description. For this week's contest, I'm going to turn the tables around on you, the viewer. So here's the deal. You want to win? Like the video, first off. Secondly, I want to know what you would say to someone learning magic. So even if you're an absolute beginner and you just picked up a pack of cards and started learning, what advice would you have for someone who's in the same situation as you, that you've learned possibly? So whatever it is, comment below on the YouTube and I will pick a winner next week. So yeah. This week on the deal we have two amazing products. First of which, Spaceshifter. You see what I did there, huh? Look at this. Subliminal messaging, it says shift. Checks in the mail, Nick. Kidding. Kidding aside, Spaceshifter is a lovely product by Nicholas Lawrence and Sans Mind, so we'll get into that in a second. And secondly, we have The Source. The Source. Such an epic name, by Titanas. So before we go on, let's watch a performance of Spaceshifter. Today, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something interesting, and then I'm going to show you a magic trick. No, I'm just kidding. That's the interesting thing, is the magic trick. Okay. Actually, I have a normal deck of cards here, and if you would, could you just say stop whenever you like? Stop right there. All right, I'm going to have you look at that card. You see that card there?
Yep.
All right, that's going to be your card. All right? Mm-hmm. Make sure the camera gets that. That's going to be your card.
You looked at it.
That's okay. It's not one of those tricks.
Oh, okay.
I'm allowed to look at this. Actually, what I want you to do, do you think you can sign this card?
Yeah, no problem.
Just go ahead, just somewhere there, happy face or something, just so we know that it's yours. Perfect. Yeah. So, I'm going to take a little piece of this card, actually. I'm going to take almost like a souvenir, okay?
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and like tear the corner off this. Let's see. Okay, just like that. Actually, could you put that in your fist? Just like that?
No
Yep,
problem.
and just close your fist. Julien, you see the movie Interstellar, it talks about space a lot, space and time, how you can travel through space and all this. Now you see clearly that the corner's missing right here, yeah?
I do.
Okay, could you hold on to this side here? And what we're going to do, we're going to try to make space travel.
Okay.
Alright? Just go ahead and pull on that card. Pull. See, what happened is that like the torn corner, it kind of traveled, it jumped almost. And that was in your hand the whole time.
Anyway.
And there you go, and that's the matching corner. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Don't ask me to do it again. So that, lady and gentlemen, was a performance of Spaceshifter. I apologize, I didn't have a cameraman to get in close so you could see the moment, but I did film it here, so I'll give you the quick visual. I'll film that for you. Have a look at that right now. But actually, we're going to move space and time around just like this. Watch the corner here and watch it appear just like that in the middle of the card. Look at that. Look at this. What have we here? Yeah. So there you have it. That was Spaceshifter. Thoughts? First of all, you get a DVD. Inside this DVD, there is no gimmick, so the gimmick is constructed, which at first I was kind of disappointed and afraid because I thought I knew the method, but the method was more ingenious than I had ever anticipated. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised when creating the gimmick because it wasn't actually that hard to do. Took me maybe 3-4 minutes. The DVD has great explanation, great production, as per Sans Mind's usual products. Is this for beginners? Is it something I would add to my routining? Just probably not for me because it's not organic enough. However, the visual is pretty amazing. It's kind of like Angle Z on acid. And Chris and Nick even mentions that it doesn't really make sense what's happening, but it is kind of cool. It's a visual. I mean, the torn corner that isn't there appears in the middle of the card, and they get to keep that. They get to sign it, keep it, and they're not that hard to make. So if you're doing like stroll around and you want some cool visual, this could be something really cool you could leave with your audience, like an impossible object. I think it's really cool for that factor. So 1,000,000 on 1,000,000 for impossible object factor. As far as anything else goes, I think it's a bit finicky, a little bit fidgety, widgety. So you got the cards, you got to do some thingamajigs. You've seen in the performance. So that for me, I was a little bit like, it's a little too knickety-knackety, wickety. But other than that, once the heat was gone and they pulled the card, I mean, it's amazing. So good job. I quite liked it. I quite enjoyed Spaceshifter. And Nick Lawrence is a creative genius. He's been on fire. If you don't follow him, go check him out. He's got some other products out there that are pretty darn fooling. And I think he's got some more on the way. So thanks, Nicholas. Thanks, Sans Minds. Spaceshifter. Next up, we have The Source by Titanas. I can't help saying The Source by Titanas. I think actually the next time I'm going to go out and perform this, I'm just going to be like, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This next piece is entitled The Source by Titanas. Cue 3D lettering and dubstep. Check out a performance. Today what I'm going to show you is not really a magic trick, but more like a test of will to see if you can stick with your choices. It's more about the human psychology than it is magic, but it's interesting. Could you, if you had to name any card right now, which card would you name?
The 8 of Spades.
The 8 of Spades, okay. In a second, I'm going to ask you a question. Remember the 8 of Spades, okay. There's 52 cards in a pack of cards, and there's this famous magic trick, or sort of card trick made famous by a man named David Berglas, which is called the Berglas effect. And what that is basically he could name any card, or you could name any card and any number between 0 and 52, and that card would be at that number, right? That's sort of the Berglas effect. But in a second, I'm going to ask you to name a number. But first, I want you just to look and verify that the pack is indeed it's not in any particular order. Mm-hmm. It's a random deck of cards. Yeah.
It's random.
And actually, to make it more random, just to make sure for those skeptics out there, we are going to shuffle it. If you had to name any number between 0 and 52, which number would you name? And don't make it like 1, 2, or 3, but you know, it really is up to you though.
33.
33.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you happy with that decision?
Not really.
Not really. You can go ahead and change your mind.
40.
40?
14.
14.
14.
Wow. Okay, that's a big jump. What made you change your mind? Just the fact that you could?
I don't know. I prefer 14.
You prefer 14. All right.
Yeah.
Good enough. So let's count out the cards then. All right. So we got 1, 2, and remind us what the card was.
The 8 of spades.
The 8 of spades. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You sure you don't want 7?
Pretty sure.
Good. Those are 3 spades.
Was
So
a good
7.
choice.
That was a good choice. 8, 9, 10, 11. You sure you don't want 11? You happy with that?
Totally sure.
You totally sure? Oh, good thing. And the 2 of clubs. Right?
Uh-huh.
So we have a 12, 13, and you said the 8 of spades.
Can I still change?
Oh, not anymore. We're at 14. You had all the opportunities before.
Can I leave? Okay.
You could have changed your mind at any point.
Ah.
And in fact, you did. Because you did say 33 at first, right? And the funny thing is, I don't see another 8 of spades here. And there's no 8 of spades here. That can only mean one thing.
It's right on there.
8 of spades.
Can't believe it. Wow.
It's all about
Nice
sticking
trick.
to our decisions. Thank you. So that was The Source by Titanas. See, I can't even get past it. This is such an ingenious card effect. Titanas. You're so good. It's an impromptu any card at any number. So if you're not familiar with this principle, it's called the Berglas effect. Many have existed, many are out there. I use several of them. This is a way of doing it with a borrowed deck on the spot, shuffled. You just borrow a sloppy, sweaty deck and just like, I'm gonna perform The Source by Titanas. So if you're not familiar with any card at any number, it's exactly what the name says it is. They name any card and any number between 0 and 52. You deal the cards down and boom, the card is at that number. This is so crazy that you can do this with a borrowed deck. I was just, when I watched the explanation, everything is justified. There's no major slights. There's no huge memory involved. It's very simple. It kind of aggravates me when things this simple are so deceiving. Good job. No, I really like this product. I'm definitely going to use this. You know, there are a few things that you can do with a deck of cards that are completely impromptu and that leave your audience completely dumbfounded. So this is one of those. And actually the guy that I performed it for afterwards, he's like, I don't even, what if, but I didn't, but it's, wouldn't, So The Source by Titanas, I can't even, will be out, I think next week or the week after. So this is actually like a preliminary thing you're seeing. I don't even know if there'll be a link down here, but when that link exists, it will be down here. Not down here. That's a different link. But when this comes out, you will definitely be the first to know. Stay tuned to our Facebook. A lot goes on there, so that's probably where you're going to see it first. All right. Sourced by Titanas. I'm getting better. Amazing product. Good job, Titanas. Proud of you. Very proud of you. All right. Good job. So that was it for the deal portion of the show. I'm actually going to show you guys a quick flourish called epidural. I won't actually teach it because I don't want to make this a 25-minute video. But I will show you what it looks like, and if you're interested, just hit me up, comment below, say yeah, looks cool or whatever, and if I get enough people wanting to see it, maybe I'll put up a video sometime this or next week teaching it. So if you dig, hit me up. Alright guys, thank you so much once again for all your love and support. Namaste. And I will see you guys next week. Alright?